My name is Swami Atmapriyananda. I am a Hindu monk. There is a university called the Ramakrishna Mission Vivekananda University, and I happen to be the head of that university. I am the vice chancellor of that university. In the Hindu tradition, there are transcendental ways of looking at love and forgiveness, as well as the relatively less transcendental way of looking at them. I'll explain. The transcendental means I feel an injury because I think that you have criticized me, you have insulted me, either individually or collectively. So I carry the hurt within me. I think about it, ruminate about it, and even if I don't think about it, that thought never leaves me. And therefore I come back to you again and again. Imagine a person like you and then do all kinds of shadow boxing, which we do every day. Now the transcendental way of looking at it is, there are two aspects. One is if you're a theist, if you're a believer in God, you'll go back to God and say, oh God, why did it happen to me? You will not say the other man did it. You will say, by the will of God it has happened, and why should that happen to me? And you say that God has some reason why he did it to me in order to cleanse me or purify me. So you don't attribute it to that person concerned because he himself is a puppet in the hands of God. He is being controlled by a divine will, and he did what he did, perhaps not because he intended to do it, because he didn't have any other option because God was operating through him. That is one way of looking at it. You may not logically think it is very proper to do that, but it gives you a lot of satisfaction. And in our tradition we say, in the modern language I put it, God is the infinite shock absorber. Pass on all the shocks to the infinite. I get a shock, I get agitated, I get upset, I get deeply hurt. Go to God, offer it to them, offer it to God. Because all the things which are happening in life, if they are happening through the will of God, that which has happened to me belongs to God. Take all this hurt, all the injury, and then say, oh God, this has happened to me, it's yours, take it. I am at peace. If the concept of forgiveness itself is absent from your mind, there is nobody to forgive, then there is oneness and love. If by thought I forgive, and this thought I try to eliminate from me through artificial means of requesting apology and then compensation, justice and so on, this thought remains there, and then the remnants of your having removed it will also remain. The scar will remain. But love requires something much higher. You have not forgiven him because there is nobody to forgive. He did what he did because of certain laws of karma, if you are not a believer, or because so many factors are involved in his life, or because he is a puppet in the hands of God.
I think there are different levels of forgiveness. I think a higher level of forgiveness, irrespective of what other sort of attitude, the person, still a human being, still deserve our compassion, our sense of concern. So never sort of develop ill feeling towards that person. That's the higher level of the practice of forgiveness. Another level, simply try to not develop anger towards that person. Simply act sort of as a countermeasure to stop their action. Now here the important is make distinction, doers or the actors and action. I think some, my Christian friend, you see, make distinction, sin and sinner. Towards sin, we must oppose. Sinner is concerned, we should not lose our concern or compassion. We have to do justice, but without anger, without hatred. That's very possible. Totally oppose their wrongdoing, but without anger, without hatred. I think if anger towards action is okay, not towards the person. Person, if you keep anger, negative sort of attitude, then that creates their negative attitude towards you, then remain longer. If you practice on a higher level forgiveness, then without losing respect, without losing compassion, then there is much chance to transform that person's attitude towards you. If you lose anger, then that chance, then you create obstacle about that positive sort of change, a chance of a positive change.